All right. Hello, hello. We are live. We will just give a couple minutes as everybody take their time to join us live. So once again, I just want to say welcome to the second anniversary celebration for the book Living in Grace, Living Your Best Life Now. So once again, thank you so much. I know we've emailed out to quite a lot of our supporters. We share on a Facebook page and social media for you to join our live stream. So if you're coming on to the live stream, make sure to type into the chat and say hello, where you're coming from. And of course, as we're celebrating the book, we also have here our author, Dr. Anlan Nguyen. Before we get into the program, because we're still waiting for a couple of people to join us live, Dr. Anlan, I just want to say thank you so much for being here with us today. And how has your week been? How's your day?
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's just a tremendous honor for me to see everyone today again for the second anniversary. Hello, Lucy from Toronto. We are having a friend from Canada logging in. Thank you, Lucy. So it has been a very hectic week. I am currently very involved in a campaign in Houston called Vote Houston to promote the upcoming election in the United States, which is happening on November 8th. And you can believe it's the whole mobilizing the whole Vietnamese American community here to go vote. It's a big event, a big program. And I have to finish every planning and everything before I land the airplane. I go to fly to Toronto, Canada. So it's very busy, but again, I'm here with you on October 20th, which is a historic day for me, for us, which is the day when we first published the Living in Grace, Living Your Best Life Now. So I'm very thankful.
Thank you so much. Oh, we have a couple more friends that are joining in. Once again, thank you so much for joining the second anniversary celebration of the book Living in Grace, Living Your Best Life Now. And for those that are not able to join in live, this will be on our YouTube channel as well too. So you can definitely watch the replay. It will also be on our social media as well too. And if you're joining right now, please type in the chat, in the comment section, just say hello. We love to feel your energy as we do this live, because here it's just myself and Dr. Lan talking to each other. But before we get into me interviewing and asking some questions about the past 2 years, what has happened, we do have a quick short video that we want to share with everybody to recap. So enjoy the video, guys.
Thank you, everybody. It's been awesome. Knowing you, being here, love you lots.
When you practice grace, it builds relationships with your team members, with your stakeholders, with your project sponsor. And the key thing is the practice of empathetic, active listening.
Doing? You guys are amazing. I wanted to say congratulations because I know we have a lot of award winners.
I'm here to serve, to love, to give, and to share. And that is my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. I hope you all enjoyed that quick recap. Seems like a lot of things has happened over the past 2 years. Quite a lot of projects that you have going on there, Dr. Nlan. And now I want to ask you if you can perhaps share or a little bit deeper into some of your experiences since the book launch that led to all of those projects that we saw on the video.
Oh boy, living in the fast land, I didn't realize all the things that we have done together here with the Lyceum team. But I'm so much grateful. But if you look into the the video and you look closely, you can see that I got something on my chin. When I say that I am a miracle with those kids at Van Houston Academy, and it is one of the most memorable moment for me because I didn't realize that I truly living in grace until that happened. And that happened when I was about to deliver the last speech for the group as we graduating 43 students from grade 6 to 9 at Van Houston Academy after a 12-week program for living in grace, right? And the week before, my husband thought that he had a heart attack right before I drove to school. So it was like that week was a pretty stressful. But again, I was tested and I realized that I really focused on what could happen. And I focused on the thing that I could do to handle the situation. And then the following weekend, we postponed the graduation to the following weekend because of my husband's condition. And then that weekend, the event was scheduled on Friday morning, and on Thursday morning, I got into an accident and I fell and I got hurt. You know, the whole area right here, it just got really bad. Like you would see me on Thursday, you wouldn't believe that I was able to say, I am a miracle with that kind of energy. So now looking back, I felt that it's the energy of living in grace. Because, you know, that Thursday I was incapacitated. I was totally, you know, just lying down, totally focused on getting healed. And I remember I spent a lot of, about 2 hours of meditation to kind of helping me to heal myself. And I'm telling myself that I will be able to get up and get into that room to really celebrate the 43 kids graduating. And I did. If you look into that, could you figure out that I was just recovered from an accident? Like I say, I'm a miracle, don't I? It's just amazing to see when you're driven with a goal or you know, like some intention that means serving, giving, and helping and sharing, and you really focus on getting yourself up and running, you could do it. So that was the most memorable, I think, memorable moment for me because I was still hurt. Like my husband had to give me a ride because I couldn't drive. And whenever I say something, you know, the wound over here, it really hurt. So for me, in order for me to say out loud, I am a miracle, it took me a lot of courage, a lot of care, a lot of respect the students in order for me to say that. So looking at it through the video, it really made me have a goosebump. And again, it's not about me. It is about the power of living in grace. So that's the first moment. Like you asked me about 3 moments, is that right? Like that would be one of the greatest moments, and you saw it on the video. And the kids wrote beautiful love letters to me. They said, Dr. Nlan, you really changed my life and you helped me to realize that I am a miracle. Nothing else I cannot recover, you know, things like that. So it really warmed my heart. The second moment that really brought me a lot of warm energy was when I was fortunate to have a talk about how to use grace to cope with COVID. And it was September 2021. In September 2021, in Vietnam, COVID was really bad. So they actually got COVID worse than a little bit later than what we had experienced here in the United States, right? So throughout that period, I was fortunate to be given an opportunity to deliver a presentation of how to use grace breathing, all the strategies from grace in order for them to cope with COVID. And it was like a beautiful Zoom with like 2,000 people and another 1,000 people on the YouTube live, because they do live YouTube just like this, and also live on Facebook. This is about 3,000 people in total. And I was just feel so grateful, because at the end I had the chance. They actually provide sign language. So there's about 20 deaf participants can hear my speech. And this is a blind woman. She called in and she said she was so much grateful to hear the message, because that's what she needs to hear in order for her to heal herself. And, at that moment, nothing else mattered. I realized that this is what I'm living for. I'm living for to serve and to bring the light of grace to everybody that I had the opportunity to work with. And that is the second most surreal moment that I remember. And the last one, I guess, was basically with the programs Living in Grace that we deliver for the teenagers and the young adults in your town, in your beloved Toronto, city of Toronto, right? And it was not a pleasant experience, because when I arrived in Toronto, I lost the luggage. And if you remember, it was supposed to be Saturday. I landed on Friday night. And so all the luggage is lost. So I only have the outfit that I had when I was on the airplane, right? So I had two choices. I could be frustrated, but I chose, because at least I was safe. And at least I still have a good outfit that I took on the airplane. So I wore the same outfit. I came in and meeting all of you who have been spending nearly a whole year with me, all the counselors and all the kids who have been perseverant, staying until the end of the program, which just truly warmed my heart. And hearing one of the youngster, she's a newly graduate student, and she said how learning Living in Grace, helping her to have an intimate conversation with her mom. And she was able to reconcile with her mom and finding some common ground to truly show her love and her gratitude toward her mom. It was the best gift in my life. So, so with all of this, there's so many other stories, like the coaching client and all that I will share with you later. But I believe that when you met me, you're not a coach then, and you're on the way. But now, I think 2 years later, now I'm very proud to call Coach Mai Nguyen. And you can share your own experience going through living with grace.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Nlang, so much for sharing your own experiences. And I was fortunate enough to be able to part of your journey from the beginning, since, the day that you wrote the book, throughout the launch of the book, being involved in the Grace Foundational courses that stem from the book, as well as the project to support the teenagers as well too. And you know what? I do have quite a few stories of personally for me in my life. I know that I am happy with my life. I'm blessed. But until I read your book, that was when I remember that it really instilled to me this sense of every day being grateful for not just the good things, but also the bad things. I remember when I was going through trouble communicating with a dear friend, or I felt like, hurt by the individual per se, if I didn't really focus on the gratitude, I could just kind of blame, or I would kind of assume that, oh, this person is this and that would be judging the individual. But when I focus on gratitude, I just focused on the fact that I'm grateful for the friendship that we had for a long time. And there's always good in the individual, regardless some of the negative things that I don't enjoy. And that led me to inviting them out to have a conversation. And it also led me to look past. So when it comes to my personal life, I'm constantly applying the grace. I mean, there's a 5 framework, but I feel like even if you can just really hone into one, which I choose gratitude, that will make a huge wonders, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one I wanted to say is that, funny enough, I've been involved with a lot of nonprofit organizations, and part of that is you're always going out asking government for funding grants, and sometimes you can spend a lot of time working on these things and they don't really see it. But when I worked with you, I really wanted an opportunity to see how we can support teenagers. And because I understand grace and I kind of use that framework to act, for me to embody that framework and my mindset. So I thought about, like, how can we serve these teenagers? How can we really help them? And when I put that energy out to serving, before you know it, we were able to get a grant from the government to support the teenagers. And that's how the project happened. And for me, I look back and I was like, sometimes you can't control everything in life, but as long as you're always leading with your heart, and which is what I learned from your book. But I can go on. And those are just—
Yes, and you mentioned about leading from your heart. There is no thing that is more important than connecting with your heart. That in order to lead from your heart, you have to connect with it first, right? Connecting with your heart. And once you connect with your heart, the loving energy from the heart will conquer everything, including the most difficult conflict situation. We have been in a lot of different workshops that we talk about conflict resolution, about how to defuse some situation that's really bad when both parties refuse to talk to each other, right? Again, once you learn, get the people in the room down to the level that they can connect to their own heart, because that's the first step. The first step, you've got to really calm down a little bit, and grace breathing comes in really beautifully. Just do a little bit of grace breathing, which is breathing in very deeply, inhale deeply, and realize that the power of, appreciate the power of your own heart, that pumping blood around your body. Like, your body is like 50 trillion cells, right? 50 trillion cells working harmoniously together to support you every moment of your life. But most of the time, we didn't realize that. We didn't really appreciate that. We just take it for granted. So by taking a moment just to breathe in, to realize that magnificent work that the heart is doing for you. And then it helps you to connect with your own breathing, with your own heart. Then you feel that, okay, everything else is not really that important, that bad, right? Whatever bad situation, it is not that bad. And by having that moment to appreciate yourself and to feel the safety net inside yourself. And then when you're breathing out, you're sending love. And this love is not the kind of love that I love you when you love me. This is the kind of love that I just love you because, well, who I am. I am love. When you're breathing out with that kind of intention, it really brings out the loving energy. And that will be the best thing to diffuse the situation. And remember, you cannot control the other person, right? In any conflict situation, but the only person you can control is yourself. And having that grace breathing as a break, it helps you to truly anchoring on your best and have the best response that you can have in that upcoming, the next moment.
For sure. Yes. Thank you for reminding that. And I'm sure if you read the book, And if you haven't had a chance to read the book, we have an opportunity for you guys to download the book for free, actually, in the next couple of days. I'll be sharing that link soon right now, and I'll share it again at the end as well. But make sure you can download the book as well, too. And in terms of, I know you mentioned a little bit earlier that beside these big programs that you do, you are also an ICF certified coach. So I assume you apply a lot of the grace that you taught in the book into your relationship with your clients as well. Can you share a little bit about that?
I just received the most beautiful email from one of my coaching clients from South Africa. And, I met her very, randomly. I came to an international conference hosted by Lisa Nicole in California back in 2019. So we met, and somehow, we felt attracted to each other. The way that like she's a young lady, and she flew 19 hours from South Africa to America just to become better, to better herself. So something in her really intrigued me. So we had lunch, and then we had dinner together, and then after that, a beautiful relationship started. And since then, so I spent time coaching with her she became my very first coaching client from South Africa. And after that, we formed a friendship. After we finished the coaching relationship, at the time she was a senior financial, I think, professional in a big corporation in South Africa. And then she followed me with the Brace Foundation cohorts, the first cohort, second, the third cohort. And you know what? She was one of the example of, if you applying all these very simple principle, you will become a light. And what she told me was that, Anlan, I like you because you enable me, you empower me to shine my own light. By shining your light, you allow me and empower me to shine my own light to my loved ones. So she wrote me a beautiful letter in which, she lost her job. Actually, she went through COVID. She helped in South Africa in 2021. Also, it's the time when COVID is pretty bad. And she was able to use all of these simple techniques from Grace, helping her siblings and the whole extended family to recover from COVID. I mean, it's not like a drug, but when you focus so much on getting well, focus on the joy, the happiness, actually your brain is very, very wise. It actually it's a chemical factory. It releases the right chemical to help you to boost your immune system. And when your immune system is up, then no COVID can get into your body. And so it's just beautiful to hear how she utilized that. And then she lost her job. The corporation closed. And, if you lost your job, it's one of the most scary things that happened, especially is after the pandemic, right? But because she already been able to practice the values of grace, like gratitude, being grateful for all the things she has, focus on the things she still has. And then she said to herself, maybe this is a good thing because I could have been better in a better position. But because I was currently working on this company, they paid well, I never think about changing. But because now they laid me off, I had the opportunity to. So she's really spent the first, I think she told me it's the first month, the first 4 weeks after being laid off, focusing on herself and asking the question, what are the jobs that I will be best in? What is the job that will bring joy for me every day? What is the job that really aligns with the values of my life? Because she already going through the coaching, she already know very well what the values that really mean to her. It's really important to her. So she spent that time to allocate and then identify the dream job that she really want to hone in, right? And regardless of how many jobs coming along, she really focused on the job that she want to have. And guess what? When she wrote me that letter, she landed the job. the dream job, working from home, because now with the new norm, working from home is an option. And all the things that she wished for, this job has it. How wonderful. It's just like a dream come true. And she told me, because of practicing, and she literally practicing every step that we discuss in the program, right? She's no teacher would wish, a student more than like her, like really practice what she learned. And she told me another setback was her dog. She's a single lady and she has a beautiful dog. And that little dog has lived with her for 10 years. So when the dog died, and the dog died just like a few weeks after she lost her job. So losing her job, losing her dog, it's just like really big things happening to her. But she was able still living her best life, quote unquote, every single moment. And when she wrote me the letter, she already landed the job. She's happy. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I imagine if all the kids that I'm currently involved with, if all the students who are going through this program can take that grace to that level, imagine how this world can become. Imagine how all these people become so much more resilient. And I'm not saying this, it's just like you just wishful thinking and something will fall. You will have to work hard. Like accountability is take ownership of your life, right? And in order to achieve any goal, you've got to work hard. But not just that, you've got to really own your emotions, your feeling, your thoughts, because your thoughts lead to your emotion and it leads to all the things that really important that control our health, right? So that is one of the best moments that I had. And I had also another coaching client just recently, like about a few months ago. She wrote me another letter and she said, I only coach her for 6 months. It's an engagement through the Leadership Education for Asian Pacific. So it's for an Asian young manager in a big firm. And six sections, only 6 sections, but she was able to land her dream job. And the last coaching day was the day that she left for the other company. And she told me, Anh Loan, I would never imagine within 6 months I could be in where I am today. And it's all because you really helped me to realize my potential, seeing that, believe in myself, and believe in my potential to achieve the greatness that already been in me. It is in her. It's not because it's just like the greatness already in each of us. But we just we be covered. We don't see it. But once you see and then when you awaken the giant within yourself, oh my gosh, there is nothing that you cannot achieve. And that is my belief. And that is the best blessing that I got so far after 2 years working with the Book Grace book.
Oh, amazing. Those 2 stories are really amazing. And yes, as a certified coach now, I can totally agree with you that honestly, a lot of time we don't believe in ourselves, but it's already in us. Like we achieved everything because we put our mind to it, right? No one can make us not, and it's just your Grace program really helps us continue to realize that in ourselves. That's amazing. We talked a lot about, what has happened over the past few years, but I'm feeling like this is just the beginning. So please let us know what is happening, from now to the end of the year and onwards into 2023.
So right now, I'm very active in Houston, and we had a local event, actually local campaign before the U.S. election day, which is November 8th. And it is called Vote Houston, which is try to increase. And it's also one value of Grace, which is engagement. Hello, Mighty. Mighty is from San Jose. Thank you. Mighty is also one part of the Lyceum team, and I'm very grateful for all of her support. So thank you, Mighty. And so that is the civic engagement project that I currently involved. But what we are aiming for is getting ready for the next cohort for the Grace Foundation course. So please check it out in our lyceumglobal.net. The information about the upcoming or living your best life with grace.com. You can come there, and we even have a lot of free workshop, free seminar in the past, the recording. We actually publish it in this website, so you can download and you can view it anytime you want. And I'm very grateful for all of my colleagues at the National Speaker Association of Houston chapter. They're always so helpful and so kind, like Dr. Rob Pennington, like Amy Castro, that have been helping us to, and of course, my dear friend, Dr. Renee Skelton, which is another exciting project that we're working on, which is writing my second book. And it's co-authoring with Dr. Renee Skelton, which is my fellow EI practitioner, EI coach. We will write a book that I think all the parents would love. It's called something around Grace, Parenting in Grace. Like, and being a parent, I know that you guys have your own and unique challenges, right, Mai?
Yes, for sure. Every day.
Every day, right? Like even the toddlers, even the time when your child really is little, until it become a toddler, it become a like 9-year-old, 8-year-old, starting exploring the world, and then until the time they become teen. And teenage is a very unique age, and I became so involved with the world of all the teenagers when I started working with Van Houston Academy with your program in Toronto, and also when we did the Vietnamese Youth Leadership Summit in Vietnam. For every year, we did it for 60 kids from about 30 plus cities across Vietnam, and the result has been tremendous. It's just like wonderful to see how the youngster take ownership of their life. And not just that, when they really understand the values of grace and the help, the wonderful result, they are determined to really spread the word by creating some other organization to spread the grace method. And I just had a meeting with 5 what we call grace ambassador, and they all in like 16 years old, 17 years old. The oldest is 17 years old. And each of them have a little project that really help to spread the word, to spread all the values of gratitude, respect, accountability, courage, and engagement to other teenagers. The result has been like mind-blowing. And one of the most recent project that we are about to start, which is some really beautiful relationship with a psychologist in Nepal, Dr. Narendra, and we will launch a project called Evidence-Based Grace Intervention Teen Suicidal Prevention, to be rolled out for about 6 schools in the rural area in Nepal. So I'm very excited, and they're going to translate this book into Nepali. So be used, alongside with the program. So so that is one, and the list can go on. So we have a lot of projects that are going on, but it's all serving the youth, serving young adults. Now the Grace Foundation, of course, is for everyone. And some of my friends ask, well, how come you offer it so cheap? Like the price is very, very modest. It's because I believe that whatever result that achieves, I would like to provide it for people who might not be able to afford it. And if you are working for corporate America, then book me for a talk. Like I have a keynote speech with the Grace book, like I did in the Asian Month for Intel, and also in the past with Google. You can have a book talk or a keynote speech about emotional intelligence through the lens of grace. And all of that will bring in some money that I can use to subsidize for the program that I provide for free in Vietnam. And the list go on, but I guess you guessed the gist. And what you can do is just checking in with us through the Living Your Best Life with Grace.com, or you can come to my personal link, which is dranlan.com/book. And so that you can download the book. I know that most of you who are my friends, you already had it, but please share it with your friends. You never know how this book will touch someone's life, and that because of your intention of sharing.
That's right. Thank you so much for sharing everything that's coming up. It's very exciting for those of you guys out there that are listening. If you want to get involved, you want to volunteer actually for some of these projects, you can reach out to us as well too. I've shared the email. It's info@lyceumglobal.net that you can share. And of course, it starts, if you're watching this for the first time and you're curious, what is this grace that Dr. Lan Ma is talking about? Here's your opportunity to download the free book. But if you want to support all of the work that Dr. Lan, along with the team at Lyceum Global, are doing, you can also purchase the book on Amazon. So you'll see the link there as well too, like the actual hardcover book. So if you go to drlan.com/the book, you'll see all of those details. And of course, the holidays are coming up, right? So here's a great opportunity for you. The book is such an easy read. It's a short read, but very impactful. And it'll make a great gift for someone, especially those you feel that, I know there's a lot of things happening in the world right now. People are predicting recession, this, and there's just a lot of negative.
That is for sure, right? The bad things is for sure. Something will happen.
So it's good to put it into perspective, give someone a little hope, a little light by just allowing them to work on their mindset, to understand that regardless of what external factors we have, we do have the power to control and versus react to these things that are out of our control, right? So I encourage, and it's something that I also read as well too. So once again, I don't know if you have any last words to say to everyone, but we're about to close off our live session. And we just want to say thank you to everyone, especially those of you who've joined right from the beginning all the way till now. Thank you so much for all of your support and being here with us. Dr. Lan, any other words?
I just want to say one thing, that each of you is a wonder. Like, you beat a chance of 1 out of 400 trillion to show up in this world. So each of you has so much potential in your heart. You only utilize 1%, to be honest with you. I just found out after I spent an advanced retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza. Before I thought it was 5%, but actually it's 1%. We only live with 1% of our potential. The remaining 99% is living in your heart. And how can you open your heart, connect to your heart, and become so much more powerful for yourself, for your health, for your wellness, but also for your loved ones and for everyone around you? That is what Living in Grace is for. And I cannot wait to serve you. So please check it out. I think some of us have not seen the video. So let's close with the video. How does that sound? Right? So let's play the video again. And if you look, when you look at me, when I said I am a miracle, and you look at my chin that has some problem, that was when I was injured very badly. Mm-hmm. And I took every ounce of courage inside of me to say those words. So now you can watch with a little bit more attention to that.
Thank you, everybody. It's been awesome. Knowing you, being here, love you lots.
When you practice grace, it builds relationships with your team members, with your stakeholders, with your project sponsor. And the key thing is the practice of empathetic, active listening.
everyone doing?
Alive.
You guys are amazing. I wanted to say congratulations because I know we have a lot of award winners.
I'm here to serve, to love, to give, and to share. And that is my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for staying till the end with us. Once again, have a great, amazing day. And we'll see you next time at one of our projects or one of our programs. Have a great day.
Bye bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.